Hey, it's Leslie from Skinny Decaf Latte, and I'm with my husband, Clarence. It's towards
Hello.
the end of the vegan challenge, and I just wanted to chat with him for a second about it. So,
Yes?
are you a vegan?
No.
What are you?
I eat food that tastes good.
There's vegan food that tastes good, though.
Right. And you've exposed me to that in this past month. It's been
Okay,
good.
but ordinarily, what's your diet like?
I eat food that tastes good, including all types of food.
Okay,
Animal food, vegetable food.
okay,
Yes.
yeah. So you eat.
Yes.
Okay. So I know going into this, you had some concerns.
Well, my concerns are eating like this forever. Not so much eating like this for a season.
And what's a season?
I don't know, it could be like a year, could be, something like that. But like 20 years, that, I wonder about that.
What do you wonder? And what are your
My
concerns
Okay,
long term?
my concerns are, I believe, and this is, based upon no medical knowledge. I understand that, so y'all can laugh at me about this if you want. I just, I believe that there's something that you get from eating animal products that if you never eat it, you just are missing out. Specifically the protein. I know that obviously there's protein in legumes and stuff like that. I get that. But I just believe that there's something missing in your diet when it comes to the specific nutrients you get from eating meat, even red meat, like the iron and all that kind of stuff. And yes, you can take pills and supplements, but when I think about a diet that needs supplements, to me that suggests that it's lacking something. So it's just that general idea of, can you get all the nutrients you need long term just from your diet?
And so maybe like I've exposed you to some food that's
Yes.
tasty,
Great.
right?
Great food.
And you understand how it's possible to eat this way based on like the taste.
Absolutely.
I'm not missing something.
Absolutely.
But maybe I haven't done a good enough job at exposing you to the actual material, the facts that I've been reading of how there are people doing this long term. Like I showed you the lady, Lonnie Jane, who had the baby, who's vegan.
Right.
And close to raw vegan, meaning mostly fresh fruits and vegetables, but she
Right.
would have like the baked potatoes every once in a while or something
Right.
like that.
Right.
And the baby's beautiful and healthy and she's thriving.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been reading a lot of material, that's why I'm up late. I'm reading
Right.
of how people do it. And it's surprisingly like broccoli has a good amount of protein in it. Like,
But
there's
how much
just,
broccoli do you have to eat to get the protein that you need? I think it's like a volume game. That's
well,
something
and,
that's kind of
and that's
shit,
what
right?
I've been reading though, is people who do this as a lifestyle, like this is the way they eat, they're eating all the time.
Yeah, they
like
eat a
they
lot of food.
prepare their food, which is the next step for me.
Right.
And they're eating all the time, but yet their body is shrinking to the size it's supposed to be. They're glowing, they're healthy. So you can do this, from what I've observed, the right way, the healthy way, and you're eating vegetables and fruits all day, or you don't adjust to how much volume, how much you're supposed to eat,
Right.
and you end up malnourished or not eating enough.
Right, and I feel like there could be a high risk of that because when I think about the caloric value of like vegetables versus even carbohydrates, right? You have to eat so much just in terms of the volume of food to get the same type of calorie density in your diet. So that's one of those concerns. It's like if you eat a normal 3 meals a day kind of diet, which is a very American cultural thing to do, right? How do you get enough of what you need? I know you can get some of what you need. I just wonder how you can get enough of what you need.
So an example of what I've seen is in the morning having a power smoothie or juice where it's like a ton of veggies, like you see my box. Like it might be a third of that, right? And that's a ton of veggies. And you're getting all of the minerals and the vitamins from that. And then go work out, and then you come back. And I took you, for instance, to my vegan restaurant, the Thai, and it was a really filling dish. You can get a
Great.
side of the kale, the quinoa, and even like it was like a tofu, but it was chicken, prepared like chicken. I mean, there's protein in that, and so it was really filling. It was tasty. And then lunch, you could have the big bowl like you had. It was kale, quinoa, and what else was in there? Beans.
Yeah. Yes.
And then like cashew sauce, so there's
great.
nuts, protein. If you're eating like that 3 times a day, maybe even 4,
Right.
and your snacks are like apples and plums.
No, I could see how you could be totally satisfied. I have no doubt about that. I
I
could see
still think even if I ate that every day, I would still be missing some kind of nutrient.
Yes. And again, I'm not a doctor.
What am I going to be? What am I going to be missing?
Well, it's just that certain things that I've read about it on my end have led me to believe that. So on the most extreme case, there's like your Gandhi, types, right? No, and that's really a reason why I bring that up because.
But he wasn't eating enough.
No, he was eating them. He was eating enough as much as he could, but he was just missing things. So his whole thing was he wanted to eat in a way that was sustainable for life. It was a spiritual thing, right? So he didn't want to eat anything that came from an animal or resulted in the death of anything.
So it was like the seeds, meaning the apple, because it falls from the tree.
Or leaves.
Right.
But he wouldn't eat any roots, so he wouldn't eat carrots. He wouldn't eat, I think potatoes are roots, right? He wouldn't eat potatoes, beets. He wouldn't eat anything that would result in the death of a living thing.
Right.
And that was the first time that I actually found like a vegan lifestyle. It's extreme. It's like beyond vegan, right? But that's the first time that I found it intriguing because as a spiritual person myself, I like the idea of trying to bring your diet in line with your spiritual convictions. I thought that was amazing. But he almost died. Like he literally almost died.
See, I have to read it.
Yeah, you should read it.
Because I feel like, only because, and I'll keep exposing you to what I've been reading and who I've been listening to, people that are thriving, who've been doing it not just a year, but 7 years, 20 years.
Right.
And they're thriving. So again,
also the thing with him, the only thing he added to it was milk.
Yeah, so that's not vegan.
I know.
Technically, it's crazy. Like as limited as he was eating, he wasn't vegan because he incorporated milk. So he was vegetarian.
Well, he incorporated the milk because that's what he was missing. So he was missing the protein and the other things that come with drinking the milk. So that's what enabled him to kind of balance it out, which I thought was interesting.
Okay.
So he didn't bring meat in.
So I need to read that, and I need to show you some more of what I'm reading, so we can. Okay,
that's on the extreme side, and there was also the other thing you had me read with the woman who was vegan for like 20 years. She had all these health issues, and then she started eating meat again, and she was better.
And she's thriving.
Yeah, I was like, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and so I'm showing you some things. I know you're a meat eater, so I need to show you the opposite.
Yes.
I have a meat. That was before the challenge.
That was, yes.
So have you noticed any changes in me this month?
You feel a lot better. You seem healthier. Absolutely. Okay. So I think it's great.
How do I seem healthier? Just from your observations, how do I seem healthier?
It's your energy. It's partially in terms of how your body's changed, but it's more in your energy and like the whole, like you said, thriving is the word. You seem to be thriving, which I think is great. Yeah. And so my concerns aren't near term. Like it could even be a year out. It's just I wonder if there's an inflection point where you get to where it's like, oh, okay, well, we've gotten too far here, and now I got to bring back eggs or. And
I think that's fair because from what I've been reading, there's this woman, Fully Raw Christina, and she was like at first because she's Lebanese, okay, so meats from the time she was a baby. Her family thought she was crazy, but and she was hypoglycemic, and then so she was actually underweight, or maybe it's hyper. I'm sorry. So she was underweight. She started eating vegan. She started to gain weight. She didn't have to go to the hospital, right?
Amazing.
And so then 2 years into it, her family started and now 7 years later, her family, her mom and dad have a raw day. A day out of the week because they've seen the testimony in her life. And so she was just saying, because it's counter to what I think it's 95% of people eat meat, that if you choose this path, and it works for your body, then that's just a natural thing that all of your loved ones go through. They don't understand because it's not what the majority of people do. But when they see the results in you, if it is beneficial for you, then they leave you alone after a while, and they get curious and they want to start testing it because they see how you've reversed health issues and they have health issues. But I've also read stories, where either they weren't doing it right or, something just wasn't working. And so they brought back in fish or something, and they learned to treat food as medicine.
Right.
And so it wasn't that they went back to eating like a steak every single day, but they just listened to what they felt their body was saying, and I obviously wouldn't. I'm not doing this because of certain reasons that other people do it. I'm doing it because, as you know, I've had many health issues that I've shared on my blog.
I've seen them get better with this.
Yeah, and so it's like, if I can reverse the chronic fatigue, if I can not be out on the floor basically having labor pains every month from my cramps, it's that extreme. You know, if I can, just all these things that I've been, you know, having issues with skin and stuff, why wouldn't I eat this way?
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know, the thing that I found interesting about the woman you were talking about was, you know, there's that balance, and it's about doing what's right for you, right? So for one person, being vegan might be fantastic.
Right.
For another person, it might put you in the hospital. Who knows? And just for your body composition or whatever you need. You know, like if you're anemic, you need iron. If you're not on top of just taking your iron pill, whatever. Like there could be a whole slew of issues that make it good or bad.
Right.
But I think what you said was right. Of, you know, like really listening to your body.